VFL legend Ron Barassi has died following complications from a fall. One of the most influential figures in the game's history, Barassi won 6 premierships. His family releasing a statement saying he died peacefully with family by his side. Ron Barassi was 87.
A 6-time premiership player and 4-time premiership coach with 3 clubs. There has been no bigger name in football than Ronald Dale Barassi Jr.
It's Ron Barassi, no doubt one of the greatest coaches Australia's ever seen, and wherever he goes, success seems to follow him in football.
Barassi's impact on Australian rules football was so profound, he transformed the game before he even took to the field. After his father's death in World War II, Melbourne lobbied the VFL to have priority access to the son of their premiership player. And so the father-son rule was born. While Barassi was just 4 when his father died in Tobruk, it was an event that weighed heavily on him throughout his life.
It seems to me to be getting more difficult the older you get.
That's true. I'm more emotional about it.
Yeah.
Despite the tragedy of losing his father, Barassi did have a father figure who shaped him on and off the fields.
I lived with a coach.
Norm Smith?
Yes, Norm Smith, and he's one of the great coaches, if not the greatest of all. So I had a lot of tremendously good influence in my footy beginnings. Mm-hmm. And I'm very pleased that I took notices of them.
Under Smith, Barassi was part of Melbourne's golden era, winning 6 flags in 10 years. But after the 1964 premiership, he somewhat controversially took up an offer to become captain coach of Carlton.
I went there for the right reasons.
What were the right reasons?
Well, I wanted to be a coach.
Okay, yeah.
And if I'd stayed at Melbourne, I would have had to wait for years.
Why? Because your great man, Norm Smith, got sacked midway through the next year.
Yeah, but how was I to know that?
There, he lifted the Blues to their first premiership in 21 years to claim the 1968 flag. In 1970, they saluted again, coming back from 44 points down at half-time against Collingwood. After a 2-year hiatus, Barassi returned to North Melbourne in 1972, where he once again worked his magic. He coached the Roos to flags in 1975 and 1977, where his trademark sprays were in full force.
You are a I'll tell you why. You've got the bloody football game beaten. You've come down here, not concentrated.
Barassi returned to where it all began in 1981, coaching Melbourne again until 1985. While he didn't have as much success, he still made an impact. He started what was known as the Irish experiment and famously recruited Jim Stynes. Barassi then spent a further 3 seasons at the helm of the Swans in the 90s.
Hello? Healy off, Ellingworth on! Bloody weakest.
Even after his time in the game, Barassi's voice reverberated through the halls of the AFL. He even advocated for the Kangaroos to move to the Gold Coast.
No matter what the club is, the game is greater than the club, surely. So for that reason, I've finally, with a lot of difficulty, said let's go, let North go north.
Barassi's health deteriorated after he was diagnosed with dementia, but he did live to see his beloved Demons break through for their first flag since 1964 in 2021.
Keep your eye on the red and the blue, I think.
Kath Durkin, Fox Sports News.